going to show you a demonstration here on how to set up your box when you first initially get it and turn the power on. One of the things that's important is you have a purifier down here in the back. Purifies your gas as it circulates through. There's two valves here, isolation valves. So during a regen, these will typically they will be closed, and then the purifier is then isolated from the box, and then it goes through its regen process. What I'm going to do is right now, the first thing I want to do. So that has been regen, the purifier, and what we're going to need to do is keep that clean, especially when you first start purging the box out. You don't want to have this open, and the problem we're having is on power up, it asks you two questions. I'll go through that, and one of them will automatically open these valves. So you're going to have to I'm going to show you a technique I discovered here that we can use in order to preserve the integrity of the purifier. The other thing too is that this is our oxygen sensor. We want to also not allow this sensor to see atmosphere. So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate this, and I guess that'll be one of the first things I do now. The best thing to do is I'm just going to go ahead and shut the pump off. As you can see, we have no flow going through the box. Come around the back here. We're going to go ahead and close the two isolation valves just by turning them to 90 degrees, to the 90 degree part there, and then we'll go ahead and we'll shut the sensor box off. Again, here's our purifier, two isolation valves. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into a diagnostic capabilities of the machine, and we're going to shut these down. And at that point, we're isolated. So in order to get to that screen, we're going to go ahead and hit function. At this point too, I'm going to shut the blower down. So we'll put it to 0%. Blower's off, so we're not recirculating. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hit the function key. We're going to move down to diagnostic routine by using the down arrow. I'm going to go ahead and hit function again. We're going to go down one to output device, monitor. Here's asking you for a code, and if you look on the side here, I put the code down here so you'll have access to it in case you forget. And what you need to do here, I want to step back a little bit, is you need to hit the up arrow, down arrow, function, and then you just repeat that again. At this point, it opens up the ability to control the outputs. And what we need to do here is we're going to step down by hitting the function key. To the outputs is going to close the valve. The 11 opens it. 12 is the gas supply valve to close the automatic circulation valve. So we'll go ahead and hit the up arrow. That'll turn it on. Now if you look at the valves here, you can see that they're in the horizontal position. That means that they're closed. And if we were to open them, they would be in the up and down position. So now your purifier is isolated, the oxygen sensor is isolated. At this point, we can go ahead and just escape out of this, and we'll power down the system. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lower the pressure. We'll simulate not having any gas supplied to the box, which is important. Come around the side, you can see at this gauge. What I'm doing is I'm just lowering the pressure for your inert gas input. In your case, you may just don't even hook up the line yet. So now once you get your box all together and ready to go, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and turn on your power. And this is the screen that comes up. Now it gives you two choices. You hit escape, it's going to allow you to go ahead and start up your normal operation. But since I have no gas being supplied to our valves, the valves will not open. So we'll go ahead and hit escape and pick this option instead of going ahead and doing a regen, which would be your second option. So I'll hit escape. Now we're going to start our blowers off. Our valves do not open. See, we're still in the horizontal position. Although it's trying to open it since there's no pressure here. So at this point, we're going to have to go in and tell it to close again. So what we'll do is we'll hit the function key, move back down into diagnostics, function, output device monitor, hit the function key as the enter. Go ahead and use our code of up, down, function, up, down, function. We're going to step by hitting the function key again to that same identical output. Which is 12. We want to close that. We'll go ahead and hit the up arrow. And we'll escape out of it. At this point, the computer is telling those valves to stay closed. We can go ahead and turn our pressure back up. I normally set this at 60. It does need to open those valves. So as long as you don't power down the system again, you should be good to go with, you can do, for instance, a purge, which would probably be one of your first things you want to try, is to go ahead and just move into the purge option here. You can set a timer. I'm just going to do it for one minute for now for demonstration purposes, but you can put it 30 minutes and just purge the box only. And you'll step to the start purge cycle. And we'll go ahead and hit start. Now what this is doing is it's feeding the nitrogen gas out of the bottle through this one of these plastic lines that's coming in here where it says pressure control. And it's releasing it out of your purge vent here. You can leave these valves open, which is the position they're in now. You just have to take a wrench, there's like a 7/16 that thing, and you turn it 40. I'll show you how to close one of those. I just got a half-inch in now, but in order to close the valve, you can do that, but you don't necessarily have to. That's a little too big. You just turn it halfway. That'll close this valve, and now you're only purging the box. Our minute must have ran out on that purge. Let's go ahead and hit the purge again. You can do that, and you don't necessarily have to. You see my purge routine has completed, so I'm going to have to escape out of that, and we'll go back and we'll start our purge up again. So at this point, all we're doing is purging the box. I would suggest just leaving these open. Like I said, you may want to purge it, put a whole bottle through. And then once that's complete, Let this finish up. Once that's complete, you can go ahead and turn on your, we'll go around the back here, we'll turn this on. This will read, the monitor oxygen sensor here will read up to 20%, which is your typical atmosphere percentage. But after a bottle, you should be somewhere around a low percentage. We go ahead and turn it on. Turn it on, and we'll go ahead and set the flow rate for one. This takes about a minute, so for about a minute it's going to read what it had read at the last initial power up range. So we'll come back in a minute and we'll look at what the reading is. Now at this point what you can do is go ahead and just set your pressures to the max of +5 and -5. So we're going to set the high pressure limit here. So it's set at 3 as a default. We'll bring it up to 5. Escape. We'll go to low. Bring that down to -5. You can see the green bars moving from right to left. And we'll escape out of that. And at this point you can use your foot pedal down here. And just cycle the machine. Fill it up with gas and remove it. You can do that in a couple of cycles of that while monitoring your parts per million. It's still low now because I didn't expose it to the atmosphere. So. Then you can cycle it back and forth. You can also do a purge whenever you would like to. But the final thing I want to put out, show you too, is what you want to do is you want to vent these, purify these lines, quite long lines. When we're doing the control of pulling vacuum and putting gas through this line here, so we're not really clearing, purging these lines. So what they gave you here is a method of pulling vacuum on this, which will pull vacuum on your blower, these pipes here, all the way down to the closed valves. And the best way to do that would be to purge those lines, would be to go ahead and set your pressure again. We're going to set this to a high pressure. We'll keep the high at 5. We're going to bring the low up. We're going to pause it at between 3 and 5 here, so we're at 3. So we can get a little higher. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that vacuum, a little valve in the back here. It's going to pull vacuum through this port here, and this port here out through the vacuum pump, and maintain that pressure in the box. So we'll go ahead and open this up. Now if you look at the pressure, you can escape out of this. See, it's putting gas in to maintain the at least the +3 inches of water. The vacuum is pulling it out. So what's happening here is gas flow is bringing the gas in. It's pulling the gas through these pipes, through your blower, and cleaning out, purging those lines all the way through to where the valves are closed, through your vacuum pump. So I would do this for maybe 10-15 minutes just to purge out these lines. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and close off your vacuum. Just keep monitoring your pressure. You want to be somewhere below, say 300 or 200 parts per million, which will take some time with, once it's been exposed. Right now it's low because it hasn't been exposed. And then once you get down to about 2, you can go ahead and, at this point, you're going to go in and open up your valves. So we'll have to go back into the diagnostic routine. Output device. Or you can do it this way, and let's just do the up down function, and then we'll just step to we're gonna turn on the gas. It's gonna open the valve, like hitting the up arrow. At this point, you can see that the valves are now in vertical position, straight up and down. Tell by the points on either side of the white positioner there. So now your purifier is exposed to the box. You can escape out of it, and then at this point, you can go ahead and turn your blower on. It's pretty low now, but you'll see this will start coming down. Start cleaning it up a little bit. Hopefully this helps a little bit. I may have confused you more so, but the idea here is that you want to preserve the cleanliness of your purifier as well as your O2 tank, which I'm going to do by closing the valves and closing it off before I ship it and disconnecting it. If you have any questions, give us a call here at Bid Service.